What's going on, everybody? My name is Andrew Oliva and I'd love to review movies. If you haven't already, please leave a like down below and hit subscribe. It helps me out so much. Puss in Boots: The Last Wish is out in theaters everywhere, and I saw it tonight, and I'm going to share my thoughts. Right off the bat, this movie is not only one of the best animated movies of the year, it is the best animated movie of the year, in my opinion, but it's also one of my favorite movies of the year. And that's saying a lot, because I usually don't have a lot of animated movies in my top 10, but this movie is possibly in my top 5 favorite movies of the year, and I'll share why. Everything about this movie I loved. It surprised me on so many levels. I went into this movie knowing I'm gonna like it. The reviews were great before I saw it, and I mean, they're still great, but I expected like kind of your generic animated movies. I expected like the Spider-Verse animation, which is phenomenal. Like you can tell from the trailer that's going to be amazing, but it truly is. The animation is amazing, and it gets really anime-ish at times. Some of the fight scenes are really inspired by anime, and it was really nice to see. But this movie also had a lot of heart, which I really wasn't expecting. They really play into the idea of death in this movie and living your best life. And I just feel like they balanced it so well with the humor, because this is a kid's movie, and it does get really heavy at times. It gets really dark at times, too. I was shocked with some of the things that happened in this movie. Jaw on the floor. I was amazed, and I was dying laughing the entire movie. There's no shortage of comedy in this movie. Antonio Banderas and Salma Hayek have amazing, fantastic chemistry, and new additions to the cast as well with Pietro the dog. He's amazing. John Mulaney as Jack Horner. It got me. I had to get a little used to his voice, but he's also amazing. Florence Pugh as Goldilocks. Everyone in this movie is amazing, and I wasn't sure what direction they were going to go with the story, and they went a way that improved on the first movie, because the first movie kind of felt like a little side adventure. Like it could have been like a little side quest in a Shrek movie. That's what the first movie felt like, and I still really like the first movie, but this movie takes what worked about the first Puss in Boots and elevates it to 100 in this movie. It improves on the story, it improves on the character work. Puss in Boots feels like a character who can improve, and he learns about his mistakes in this movie. I really enjoyed Salma Hayek's character in this movie a lot more. She felt like an actual character just than a love interest in this movie. And just everyone else that I wasn't expecting. Goldilocks, her storyline made me tear up at times. It's really sad. Some of these characters have really dark backstories. I don't want to spoil it, but some of them are really dark. And I wasn't sure how they were going to balance all these villains, because you have the Big Bad Wolf, you have Jack Horner, you have Goldilocks and the Three Bears. They're all searching for this star, and so you have all these conflicts going on at the same time. All these characters interact with each other, and I guess it kind of turns into this little who's going to get there first type of chase. And all the action that has to do with all that is amazing. But they also found ways to give these characters more depth, these villains more depth than I was expecting, especially with Goldilocks. I really appreciate with what they were gonna do, what they did with her. They even a little bit with Jack Horner in this movie. We learn a little bit about his past. I think we could have learned a little bit more, but I'm nitpicking at this point. They give us enough to understand his character and what his goals are. But at the end, his viewpoint felt like your typical I want power villain. But that didn't bother me too much, because we have all these other great characters to make up for it. And the Big Bad Wolf he's death in this movie, and it's used to kind of play as this really I don't want to say scary. He is a terrifying villain. Every time he's on screen, he has this terrifying presence, which every time he was on screen, I mean, I was glued. Like, he scared me. He's amazing in this movie. And, they also could have given more to his character. This is a tough character to elaborate on because he is just there to be that kind of antagonist for Puss in Boots. Just him himself, not everyone else. Just be this figure that Puss in Boots is terrified of, who he's actually, like, genuinely scared of. And it worked in that sense. But as a character, I felt we could have learned a little bit more about him. But then again, I'm just nitpicking at this point. This movie is freaking amazing, and this is the perfect family movie to see this Christmas. Yeah, definitely check this one out. It's gonna be a tough. The Oscars are gonna have their work cut out for them between this and Guillermo del Toro Pinocchio. As of right now, I'm leaning towards Puss in Boots. I kind of want Puss in Boots to take it. Even though I love Pinocchio, I think Puss in Boots can take it, and I hope it does, because this movie was just a pleasant surprise from start to finish. There was never a boring moment in the movie. There was never a moment where I felt the story slowed down. It kept this really nice pace. There were several fantastic action sequences throughout the movie, and honestly, as someone who likes the first Puss in Boots movie, but doesn't love it, this movie steps up on the first movie in every way, and it's far superior. One of the best movies in the Shrek franchise. Definitely check this one out, guys. Let me know what you thought about Puss in Boots: The Last Wish in the comments below, and have a great day.